Yes, yes, indeed. Oh, I got the button right. What's up, people of the internet? How you doing? That was a very weird intro. Yes, I have returned from my month-long hiatus. I thought it was way longer than a month since the last time I uploaded a video, but apparently not. How's everyone doing? I hope the audio's good. It's the first time I've done this in a minute, so I've been getting used to everything. If you hear any meowing in the background, that's because my cat is in heat and we have yet to get her spayed, so she is screaming. And she doesn't stop doing that because she wants people to pay attention to her, so that's going to be a thing that we might encounter. But I'm in my office and I've closed both doors, so that shouldn't be a problem. So hopefully that ends up not being a problem. I've completely... Oh, wow, that's what I took off. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out the ins and outs of everything now, so bear with me if it looks like I'm struggling to fix things, because it's been a minute since I've actually been on here doing anything, so the fact that this thing is slightly off is going to irritate me till Kingdom Come, so we're just going to leave it like that, and we're going to have a nice day. So, yeah. I'm just kind of going through all my scenes right now and making sure nothing else is blocked off. Okay, so we're here. Just making sure everything's all good, everything's down. So basically, yes, I've been gone for about a month. We're ready to see some dog walking. So yeah, I've been gone for about a month, and in that time, outside of not really, I won't say that my schedule's been so jam-packed that like every second of every day I've been doing something, but you kind of know when like a bunch of things pile up on you at the exact same time. So around the time I took a break, I was just getting into like the final countdown of school, and usually when school's about to end, you're not really doing that much. You might have the occasional final, but like it's not really anything ridiculous, unless that is you're a junior in high school like I was, which means that I had finals, even though they said that we shouldn't be doing finals because COVID, but they gave us finals, which were effectively projects. They weren't really tests, but they were projects. They gave us finals. Then I had 3 AP tests that I took, so I had to take 3 AP, I had 3 AP classes that I took, so I had to take 3 AP tests. Then I had varsity baseball, which was practice every single day for like 2.5 hours, and if we're not practicing, we have a game. So, understandably, my posts on TikTok and on YouTube all kind of took a hit at the exact same time, because I was like, as much as I want to keep up with all this stuff, and as much as I owe it to you guys to keep you guys informed, it is very difficult when you have all that stuff to do. So I was like, alright, let me get all this stuff out the way, and then I'll get back to it. And it obviously ended up taking a little longer than I thought it did. And then even as soon as I got back out of school, I wasn't really feeling it too much until my friends pushed me to get back on here and start streaming again. So I've started posting on TikTok. Today I had a back and forth with a guy who has some yikesy viewpoints at some junctions, like one of those types who it's not all men, which it's true that it's not all men, but that whole like argument around that conversation is not really helping anything. It's better to just acknowledge that you're not at fault and better yourself as a man than to say it's not all. But that's besides the point. But me and him basically had a non-political back and forth where he started out heating me, so I heated him back, and it kind of went like that. So that's basically been my comeback to TikTok, and this is going to be my comeback to YouTube. Now, I'm on summer. I still have travel baseball that I'm doing, but travel baseball is every Tuesday or every Saturday. So, maybe expect either a lack of posts on those days, or I'll try to keep it up though. But this Saturday I have 2 games in the same day, so I can't promise anything there, but I'm going to try to stream almost daily from here on out this summer. Trying to grind, trying to put out a lot of content for you guys. You good? You still my guy? Thank you, I appreciate it. So today we are going to we're gonna just chill here, talk. Then we're going to watch a Jubilee video that I believe I might have seen someone react to, but I can't remember because it was a year ago. And it's boiling my blood looking at the thumbnail, and I'll reveal to you guys what that topic is. Then I'm going to play some American Truck Simulator, a game that I've been playing for a few months now, and it's very addicting and interesting. Like, I don't know if you guys knew when the whole House Flipper thing happened, like a few years ago or something, when YouTubers were playing House Flipper. It's like one of those games where it's like, it's not really a jam-packed, action-filled game. It's a simulator, obviously, but it's very satisfying to watch and very satisfying to play. So, the light skin versus dark skin war has begun. I swear that war has already been happening, if I'm honest. I don't think there was a time where that war wasn't going on, especially like recently. One thing that I did not do is I did not announce that I was going to stream like I said I would. I'm an idiot. Now I gotta do that. Excuse while I take a picture of myself here. Yeah, there we go. And that will be on my Instagram story, so go check that out. Sending this thing out. Hold on. I can't spell swipe correctly. That's crazy. Okay, and but yeah, so I'm looking forward to actually posting way more now, and getting back on my grind, because I think it's died down. Yeah, it probably has. It wasn't as high. I remember, like, I feel like TikTok still has a bias in the amount of, like, people of darker skin color that they'll push to the For You page, like, especially when it comes to things like looks or anything. But I will say that it's probably not as bad as when it first started, like the whole light skin trend thing and everything, and how everyone either loved it or hated it, and it was kind of like a whole back and forth. It definitely has died down since then. But I think it's starting to come back, actually, because there was that whole trend situation on TikTok where it was like light skin versus dark skin again. But I don't know, people are weird. In short, human beings are very weird. I literally was supposed to copy the link to my channel, and I didn't do that. But yeah, I'm not sure how long the stream's going to be. Once I'm done doing all this stuff here, I'm going to hop right into this Jubilee video, and we're gonna watch it, react to it. The video is about 25 minutes long, and I'm gonna be pausing, so it's probably gonna be longer than that. We're gonna be in for a long haul, so get your drinks and everything. And I kind of have a little bit of a headache, so let's hope that that doesn't become that much of an issue. Save. I'm gonna save this same photo and post it on my Snap and everything. Alright, so let's hop right into this so you guys don't have to sit here in silence while I do this other crap. So, which react camera should we go for? I think we're gonna go for this one. It's this one. Is it time to get over slavery? I'm fairly confident I saw someone react to this a year ago, but I didn't personally react to it. Actually, there's one thing I haven't tested. I haven't tested my widgets. Hold on. There you go. Alright, so if you guys donate anything, which you can do so at the link below, that will pop up. I just had to make sure that worked. Alright, let's hop into this, because I have yet to give my own opinions on this video. It's been a while since I've seen it. I don't remember how it goes, and I feel like you guys should know where I stand. Why'd I do Huncho like that? Man, he did me like that. I had some of my friends hit me up who wouldn't even send like the full video and just be like, JJ got his shit heated. I'm like, bro, I heated him back. Like, give me some cred. But like, yeah, nah, that whole situation was hilarious. But let's hop right into this video, because I feel like I'm gonna lose brain cells. Alright. This is loud.
Hey guys, I'm Michael.
I'm Evan.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Middle Ground.
After the episode, please stick around for a word from our sponsor, Skillshare. Learn how to get 2 months of Skillshare Premium.
Okay.
For
I'm glad.
Fast forward. Okay, I'm not trying.
Obama didn't do anything.
Go back. Oh Lord.
Obama was a representation of something important.
Obama didn't do anything but an abomination to us, to this whole nation.
Yo,
Yeah, me too, bro. Me too, bro. Obama didn't do nothing but an abomination to this whole nation. That was a bar.
What's the biggest misconception?
That was his name, Anthony Brian Logan or some stupid. Yeah, I know him. He's very much an idiot.
Liberals have about you?
That we are self-hating. We hate our mom. We hate our dad. We don't know history.
We're out of touch.
That's not a misconception. Maybe not the hated part, but yeah, you guys are out of touch, and yeah, and no, you guys don't know history.
Have any real-world experiences?
We don't really know what we're doing.
What is a
Have you seen how you're
misconception Black conservative people have about you?
probably that I have no moral character.
I believe in chaos and anarchy.
And you don't?
No, I believe in the rule of law. I literally cannot comprehend the notion of anyone being American and Black and having conservative views.
When you're online behind the screen, behind the black mirror, you can say pretty much whatever you want, do whatever you want. But when you're right here, you got to be a little bit more human.
My name is Kevin Martin. I'm a business consultant. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, born into and raised in a conservative household, and I'm still a conservative.
My name is Xavier. I'm born and raised Los Angeles. I'm liberal.
Hi, I'm Elisa. I'm definitely as far left as one can walk.
I'm Anthony Logan. I'm from Virginia originally. Grew up in a socially conservative household, but very politically liberal. I'm conservative now, and I'm looking forward to hearing all you guys' point of view.
My name is Lady Kate Sparelle. I am a conservative Republican.
All right, can I get my Black liberals on the left and my Black conservatives on the right?
Say that again.
Liberals on the left, conservatives to the right.
Okay.
If you agree with the prompt, you'll walk forward. If not,
I don't
you'll
like how they did a 3-on-2, but we'll
stay back. People need to get over slavery.
What's this one about? It's Black liberals versus Black conservatives. I want to see what they say by this, because I've never heard anyone provide a comprehensive, like, something that makes sense when they say get over slavery. What the hell do you mean by get over slavery? I'm certain Black liberals, blah, 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 shit slavery. Yeah. I want to see, I know that she's going to walk forward. He's going to walk forward. I don't know about him. He's kind of a wild card. I knew it! You.
All right, so I guess I started off. I mean, we all know that slavery was a terrible thing.
Yes.
It was an atrocity.
Right.
It was a human tragedy. But
Yes.
we can't just be talking about slavery every day. It ended in 1865. This is 2020.
It did not. Okay. All right. First of all, the argument that you can't be talking about it every day doesn't make sense, because it doesn't. It's not that you're talking about it. It's what you're talking about when it comes to it. If we're still talking about it because A, it didn't end in 1865. The prison system is in itself a form of slavery. That's why it was written into the 13th Amendment that you could be enslaved as punishment for a crime. But if you're talking about it in the downstream effects that it's had on the Black community and where we go from here and what we can do about it, you're talking about it, but you're talking about it in a productive way. Now, if you run into the fringe person who I'm convinced doesn't exist, that says, I personally can't do anything because of slavery, which, again, none of those people exist, but that's what the right thinks that we mean when we talk about systemic racism, then you could say, all right, talking about it in that context is not helpful. But again, nobody talks about it in that context, so I don't know what straw man they're arguing against, but you can't, you're just not comfortable hearing about it because you don't have the historical backing or anything to back up your incoherent ideology when it comes to Black people were set free, therefore there's no issue here. Like, gee, What is he talking about?
20, we got to press forward. Our ancestors, they went through a lot. They died for us to be able to be here right now.
Yes.
And the best country on planet Earth.
Yes.
Take advantage of what we have right now,
Right.
rather than looking in the past and saying,
The American Kool-Aid drinking is outstanding. You know, you saw that exaggerated reaction when he said in the best country in the world, because they throw that in there as red meat to the base. When there's various rhetorical strategies, whether or not they're doing it consciously, that you pick up on when you watch these people. In the best country in the world, throwing it out there for the average white Republican or the average conservative, whatever, listening out there to be like, yeah, they complain about slavery, but this is the best country in the world. First of all, debatable. Second of all, even if you're in a relatively good country, you can still acknowledge the faults of that country in order to make that country better. You can't say that we're in the best country in the world, the best country there's ever been, and then when people say, hey, there's a bunch of things that are still wrong in this country that were created by this thing that happened in the past. So let's talk about this thing that happened in the past and figure out how to fix what happened today, and then you stand back there with your arms crossed saying, nope, just get over it. So how are we simultaneously the best country, but you're stopping anyone who wants to make the country better? Even though I know you think that talking about slavery or something is some SJW plot to overthrow the white man. I don't know.
and oh, well, woe is me because of slavery.
Right.
You know, there have been other groups of people in slavery all throughout the world. They can't just stay in that state. So people, a lot of times, they stay right in their place, and others are being able to pass them because mentally they've moved on while others have not.
They constantly use slavery to put them in a victim mentality.
I've heard this so many times. It's funny because nobody uses, like, I will go out on a limb here. You can shoot me or you can give me the L if I'm wrong about this, but nobody uses slavery to justify or talk about why themselves cannot do something today. Nobody does that. The thing that I hate about black conservatives is that they always try to have a conversation of systemic issues on an individual level. Oh, well, your systemic issue don't matter because I mentally moved past you and I own a business and I'm successful, blah, 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 blah. Yes, okay, congratulations. But when we're talking about a systemic issue like slavery or anything, it's not a victim mentality to talk about the downstream effects that this societal problem has on the society today. No one's saying that every individual black person cannot do good now because of something that happened 200 years ago. Nobody's saying that. Everyone's saying, or everyone on the left is saying, hey, this thing happened for a long time and it is documented that it's had a bad effect on black people, so let's figure out what to do about it. And they stall the conversation there by just, yeah. Black conservatives are a paradox in themselves, which is exactly why everything that they say contradicts themselves. You say victim mentality while simultaneously being the one saying, oh, all the racists are on the left because they called me a coon or something like that. Like, you can't, but that's not the victim mentality. Talking about the systemic issue is victim mentality, but literally wearing a Trump hat and claiming you're persecuted for being a black Republican when we're simply saying you're wrong and this is stupid isn't victim mentality. Okay.
We can't accomplish this because you enslaved my ancestors.
Notice how they never provide a solution. I'm sorry for pausing a lot, but they always have these complaints. Victim mentality, you're saying you did this because, we're in this position because you did this to my ancestors. What is your solution? Every time I ask one of these types about a solution, they go, like the debate I had a few months ago or something like that with that whole panel and everything. And one of them tried to suggest to me that a way that we can combat the bad things, that they casually gloss over the bad things that I'm talking about because they don't want to paint it as a systemic issue. They want to paint it as, oh, these little bad blips in history, but let's move forward. So their solution to the bad things, one of them tried to suggest to me that we could have a system where every black person owns a business while simultaneously working at a business because that's how capitalism works now. So that's solution number one that doesn't work. Now you're saying, oh, get people access to education, blah, 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 blah. How do you plan on doing that? Because I sit back and I say, all right, districting and the way districting works is very stupid in that you can have a school 20 minutes away that's pulling from way more wealthy houses because we pin school funding, public school funding, to property taxes. So we should probably either expand districts or find a way to incorporate it so it's like a more even distribution of wealth and everything when it comes to like what funding, what schools get and everything. Y'all don't talk about that. Y'all just say, hey, teach someone how to invest in the stock market and then pray that they're the 1 out of 1 million people that ends up being successful. They don't provide any explanation or any solution or any concrete anything. They just go, you're complaining too much. Fam. Like what? And I haven't even talked about Jim Crow. This is just slavery that we're talking about.
English. Slaves were taught how to become managers and secretaries and cook.
Are you? She's smiling. She's smiling. She's smiling about this. What? The descendants of slaves on a continent are still doing bad? You idiot. Don't you realize that they were cooks and secretaries? G. Willikers, had they put those skills to work, maybe you wouldn't have anything to complain about.
And chauffeurs and how to build water tanks and all sorts of things. We're here now.
What does that mean? I'm done.
Yo, okay. All right. I really think, honestly, colonialism didn't teach us anything because we came from a society that was living and running. So I don't think we need to get over slavery.
Exactly. Talking about they taught as if black people were this mindless, like, blank canvas that they just imported to America and then gave them all these skills as if they weren't living in a society beforehand, before Europeans and a combination of African leaders and nations that were warring with each other sold off people into slavery to North America. Like, what? How do you think that the slaves got here? You think that they just, like, picked up some black person that wasn't moving and then just threw him on the boat? No, they knew what they were doing. They had their own society running. They knew already how to be cooks and everything. Oh my Lord, have mercy.
I think we need to talk about the repercussions of it, like generational trauma, like the system that exists because of it. I don't think we should use it as a crutch
There you go.
as for ambivalence.
Notice how she didn't listen. She didn't listen. He said, talk about things, the downstream effects of it, like generational trauma and the system that's created because of it. She didn't want to hear it. And then the moment he conceded, yeah, let's not use it as a crutch, which everyone has already been saying. There you go. Because that's the one thing they care about. They see us talking about systemic effects and downstream effects that have happened over hundreds of years as using it as a crutch. No. Nobody's using it as a crutch. This is why it's so hard to talk to black conservatives and conservatives in general, because they don't live in the same reality. You see someone saying black people are systemically hurt because Jim Crow and redlining and slavery and no land from the Homestead Act and the race riots in Tulsa and every single attempt to stifle their right to vote and every single attempt to stifle every African American's ability to get forward in life since the beginning of this country. So that's why we are where we are today. Now, let's move forward and fix this and implement a XYZ policy. They see that as using it as a crutch. Because I can tell you for damn sure that there is no black liberal or leftist that is out here saying, well, we just need to throw our hands up in the air. We can't do anything because slavery. No one's saying that. We look at the problems of the world today, see how did we get here. Okay, slavery, Jim Crow, XYZ problem, let's fix it. And they see that as using it as a crutch because they cannot think past the second grade level.
And so, yeah.
Thank you for complimenting me on my hairstyle, by the way.
To hold yourself back, you know what I mean? I think it is a mindset as well.
I think one of the most dangerous aspects of generational advancement is misinformation. I think a lot of young people, especially young men, especially young
He reminds me of Paul Ryan.
African American men and women often have questions about why things are the way they are. Why do I get treated this way? Why has my mother gone through this? Or why has my grandmother gone through this? Well, it all comes down to the repercussions of slavery. And so I think that getting
and he's a conservative and he can say that.
Over something, I think is just absolutely ridiculous.
Thank you! Someone with some common damn sense. And it's a damn shame that I gotta applaud him for saying something as simple as that, because 98% of conservatives will not say that. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
And so when I hear people say that, especially my fellow African American people and friends, I think it's ridiculous. Just getting over something as serious as that, I think.
So I wonder how he became conservative, though.
Just plays into the whole idea of it just didn't matter anyway.
So how long do we continue to harp on it? How long do we?
It's not harping on it. I'm not gonna explain because I very quickly realized that Anthony Brian Logan has about -3 brain cells.
Continue forever?
Well,
Do we never get over it?
Until we fix it.
So you mean educate? Educate us.
Education is fine. To know history is one thing. To not get.
Are you sure education's fine? Because you guys are the same people that push school choice that would effectively make all the wealthier kids leave the poorer kids in their schools while they go to whatever high quality schools in the area, thus driving down the quality of that high quality school and leaving the poor schools to die out too. So is education really you guys' goal? Is it really fine? Because you guys are apparently against that too, Betsy DeVos. And my entire screen just died. Hold on a minute. Wait. Are we good now? Are we good now? Hold on. Ah, my camera's dying. Why is my camera dying? I wonder why it's doing that. Rip. There we go. We're fine.
Okay, guys, this is crazy. I've got to share.
I really didn't ask. Oh, why is it? God dang it. Let me go back. Okay. Let me go back and find that friggin' video. My entire thing is dying right now. Okay. Hold on, cause all my everything's crashing. All my everything's crashing. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're still not back. What is going on? Why does it do that? Why is it doing that? I apologize. Let me be right back. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, my thing is still frozen. I have no clue. Why? Why is it doing this? Hold on. Ugh. That's weird. Let me get this back. I apologize. I don't know why I just did that, but you know what? It's still the exact same. Why is it like this? Why has it done this to me? Why? Okay, I have no idea why it's doing this. Hold on, let me figure this whole thing out. Right, okay, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hold on. Just praying this shit doesn't happen again, I'm trying to adjust this little, like, crop thing. Okay, we can't have a stream without some technical difficulties, can we? Alright, now let's just hope that does not happen again. DJ Khaled, I got some keys, the keys. And this is not gonna be on at all, so I'm just gonna remove this. Alright, we're back. Okay. Jesus. Now let's get right back to what we were doing. Hopefully my computer doesn't utterly die again. That was weird to say the least. I don't think that's ever happened to me before.
Is your ramen back in stock? It is. Sorry it kept flying off the shelves. Is it healthy?
Wait a minute. Y'all can't hear me, can you?
The noodles are wholesome and full.
Y'all can't hear me, can you? Hold on. Wait, yeah, y'all can. Alright. Let me know. Can y'all hear me? Is the audio good? Okay. Because it wasn't showing me my, like, audio levels and stuff there. Okay.
I get over a thing or something else.
You can't minimize slavery.
Who says that, though?
But I listened to both of you, and I even thought maybe I'll stay out of this one.
No.
But the notion of ending the discussions on slavery, they haven't begun. We just got the lynching memorial in Alabama. We just got the African American Smithsonian in DC. You cannot go to Germany and walk more than a mile without seeing some sort of tribute to the Holocaust, some sort of apology, some sort of marker. The United States does not acknowledge slavery in that way. We are beginning to discuss, but we can't get over it until white folks acknowledge it.
Thank you.
Being black should not.
Thank you. Put your goddamn 2 cents in it. Being black should not influence a political view. That's a rough one. Because that kind of borders on identity politics and that, oh, you should believe XYZ because you're a certain race. But I don't think that it should be a definite thing. Obviously, people can think for themselves and everything. But I feel like most logical people, if you actually care about the issues and not just like some, oh, Hillary Clinton said some weird stuff, so therefore I'm a Republican. If you care about the issues and you look in depth at it, you probably should come to a left-leaning position. By being just a person who cares about the issues facing black people, and by looking at the facts and the evidence and the data provided by the other side. I don't see how you can look at all that stuff and actually care about it and actually not believe it's all some George Soros conspiracy and then become a right-wing Republican. as a black person. But I think as a whole, it shouldn't definitely influence it. It should to a certain extent, though, if you care about the issues. But at the end of the day, everyone's going to come to their own conclusions about stuff that they want. So
Influence a political view.
So,
Of course not.
yeah, being black should not really influence how you think politically, because what's good for us as black folks should be the same as everybody else. It should be from the point of view of me being an American and wanting the best for me in America.
I will vote for the best person that is running. And so far it's been, in my situation, it's been Republicans, conservative Republicans.
see, that's the thing that I'm talking about. I don't want to say it as if like, oh, you're black, so you have to vote a certain way, but I can tell you what way you shouldn't be voting if you're black. Unless you're like a billionaire who apparently racism doesn't affect you anymore. But
I vote based on the issues that I care about, and the issues that I care about stem from my personal experience.
He's gonna be a politician. You can tell by just the way he speaks and his like demeanor, like his gestures and stuff. You can tell he's gonna be a politician.
Experiences. As someone that was raised in a conservative household, I have different views on certain things. I have different views on pro-life and pro-choice issues. I have different views on economic issues. I have different views on trade and foreign policy. I don't think that skin color should have anything to do with a political view.
What does it mean when asked being black should not influence a political view? Should it be a influence or the main influence? That's what I was wondering, because I don't think it should be the main influence. I think it should be a certain influence. Like, again, you can, like he said, you can have various viewpoints on like economic issues and stuff, which is why you can't definitely say like, all right, if you're black, this is all you care about. Like, no, obviously that's not how people think. But I think it should be part of your decision making. So being like, at least for me, it would be like, all right, all these issues, blah, 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 this economic issue, this healthcare policy. Like, if I'm looking at Bernie Sanders and he was the type who didn't speak at all about race issues, or I didn't know where he stood on race issues or whatever, but I liked his healthcare policy, I'd be like, yeah, I like the healthcare policy, but then I'd weigh his issues on race against other candidates and stuff, and that ultimately helped me come to a decision. Now, obviously, Bernie's based, so he cares about all that type of stuff, but that's why I say race shouldn't be the influence, but it should probably be a influence.
I would say I definitely don't vote for candidates just because they're black. Ben Carson could never get my vote.
Yeah.
However, I do feel very much a part of a group. I feel like I have a shared history with black people and descendants of slaves in this country, and so I do not vote just based on what's okay for me.
I understand that. I wouldn't say it's the best argument, though, even though it is her reasoning. Like, because if you're talking to a Republican, chances are they're going to be hyper-capitalist or hyper-individualist things. So if you use that buzzword group in any way, shape, or form, they're going to automatically have a defensive reaction. I mean, that is if your goal is to try to persuade people. But I do understand the rationale of voting not just for what's in your best interest, but knowing the demographic that you're a part of and trying to make the best things happen for those people. But I would definitely make the argument that it should be a influence, not the main one. I'm kind of interested in seeing what the dude in the white hat has to say.
People should vote for what's in the best interest of them, and I don't think that skin color should dictate on what your interest should be based on skin color.
Did you ever vote your religious belief?
Yes.
On abortion?
Have I ever voted my religious beliefs on abortion?
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
And what's your religious belief on abortion?
We're not even talking about abortion. It's nothing to do with this conversation.
Oh, she. I have a blanket in here because I have a vent under me and it's cold. Oh my God, where is she going with this? Where is she going with this? This dude had nothing to do with this conversation. Bro, she's a weirdo, dog.
Black.
We have nothing to do with this conversation.
The majority of abortions are done to the black race.
She could be completely right on this, but the way she's talking is very weird. It wouldn't surprise me. Actually, I think she is right on that, but what does this have to do with the conversation? Yep, abortion rate. Wait, is that abortion rate or total numbers? Well, I mean, technically she's wrong then. Well, didn't take much to look that one up. She's definitely wrong. It's majority minority women. It's not majority black women. I mean, actually, no, she's right. Yeah, no, she's right. She's right. It's 37 and 34. Yeah. But that's not surprising. That's not surprising. And why is that? Because of all the systemic racism and poverty and everything that prevails in black communities, which would lead them to be more or less likely to be able to raise a child, especially unexpectedly, because that comes with a whole bunch of other expenses. But the way she's talking, she's moving mad. Dude over here is mad confused.
You should be interested in answering that question.
Really quick, I want to ask you, because you said you wanted to leave slavery behind. You wanted to get over it. But
I didn't say forget it. Yeah.
You said to get over it. I'm saying
get over it. Let's not forget it.
You're a Christian?
I still say teach it.
You're a Christian?
Yes, I am.
And where do you think we got that?
Got what?
Christianity.
Christianity goes all the way back to the beginning of time.
So where did we learn it, though?
Where did we learn it? Well, the Egyptians had religions, the Jewish taught religion.
Where did we do?
Answer the question, Muriel!
Where
you mean in
African
America?
Diaspora.
In America.
Your lineage, yeah. Slavery, right?
They learned it from slavery.
Right.
Slaves also brought religion with them when they came, so it was a mixture of everybody's religion. But they learned how to read. So what?
Oh my God! You say they learn how to read? Slave masters particularly stopped slaves from learning how to read, because if they did, they'd realize how much shit conditions they were in, and then they'd probably try to stage an uprising, was their fear at the time. She needs to go home.
What they learned how to read was the Holy Bible.
Oh, we knew.
And either you're going to believe the Holy Bible or you're not.
We knew how to read.
I believe. You know how to read Arabic? What?
Man said you know how to read as if you're not also black.
Because it wasn't English. That's my saying. I'm in America now. Everybody should speak English.
What the fuck? What? What did that have to do with anything that was discussed there? That had nothing to do with slavery. That had nothing to do with your color, determining your political leaning. That had nothing to do with the question, the prompt. That had nothing to do with what dude said. That had nothing to do with even what she was talking about in the sentence prior. Is you dead ass right now? Moving swiftly along.
Whoa.
Please let's reset. Look at his face!
Is that a hot take? Damn, we gotta speak English in America.
I support
Ooh, I want to see this.
the Black Lives Matter movement.
None of y'all? Yes, my G. Yes, my G. He not conservative, bro. He lying to himself. He probably conservative on economics.
17 years. I work in the criminal justice system. I see a lot of the behind the scenes when it comes to police brutality. So I'm a strong Black Lives Matter supporter.
Grew up in Compton. My parents were born and raised there. Even as a child, when they had the riots for Rodney King, we had to move to Hampton. Yeah, it was something that, it was the first time I knew that it was wrong, the way the police, how they police the towns. It was the first time I got a sense of injustice.
I'm just interested, since you identify as conservative, I was surprised to see you come over and how that lines up with your political views, or maybe just what your definition of conservative is.
Since the movement started, I've been torn for far too long. We've had the police on the right, and we've had Black Lives, the African American community and the Black community on the left, and it's just constant fighting. And so I support the movement. I support the agenda. I support the mission. I just have not always supported the way that mission agenda was being carried out.
And that's completely fine, because when it comes to a movement, right, you can have people who personally disagree with some of the actions. Like during the civil rights movement back in the 50s and 60s, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X had very much opposing viewpoints on how to actually get their agenda across and achieve black liberation and black equality. But nevertheless, you would never catch, even though Malcolm X, towards the beginning of his public life, he would often criticize MLK for the civil rights movement and take hardline stance against it. If you would have talked to Malcolm X and asked Malcolm X if MLK was a terrorist, or if his movement was terroristic, or if his movement was overall completely negative, he wouldn't say that. Because it's okay to have your disagreements with the movement and stuff in certain ways in which they achieve stuff. But if you're saying they rioted, or some people who support Black Lives Matter rioted, therefore it's terrorists and screw Black Lives Matter, you're just looking for excuses to say that you don't care about the issues of black people. That's all you're doing. A nuanced take like that is completely acceptable. Like I agree with the agenda, I agree with the mission statement, I agree with their action, I agree with what they're about. I haven't always agreed with their ways of achieving it, but overall I do support Black Lives Matter. No one ever says that. It's either we support Black Lives Matter, or if you're a black conservative or just a conservative, it's see, of course Black Lives Matter, or all lives matter. No one, you guys are singling out the white people, but it's either all lives matter, or no one ever disagreed that Black Lives Matter, but you guys are being terrorists and it's not that big of a deal. Like, gee, why?
Dude, you're wearing $148 pants. Impressive. Let's see how Fabletics
I do not care.
I agree with the fact that Black lives do matter. I think we all agree.
What I just say? What did I just say?
On that, that's something that nobody's going to deny. But it's the tactics. I don't like the tactics. I mean, I saw it in 2015, the Freddie Gray situation. Also,
my question is, if we were to sit down these people like Anthony Bryan Logan and ask them how exactly they wanted Black Lives Matter to react when black people keep getting killed, they would have no answer. Or they'd probably say peacefully, as if Martin Luther King didn't do that, and as if Martin Luther King wasn't still labeled a terrorist, and as if Martin Luther King had a 20% or didn't have a 20% approval rating, and as if Martin Luther King still wasn't murdered before he could even see his dream come true. So no matter which way you slice and dice it, America's not going to respond positively to black people asking for positive change. No matter what your method is, whether or not you go and protest peacefully, which we saw what happened to those protesters still in 2020 and in the civil rights movement, or whether you riot, which we saw how the media portrayed it, and we saw how millions of people use that to galvanize themselves against BLM because, God forbid, a Target got burned down. You're not going to get a positive reaction from mainstream America when you're calling for positive change, for the most part, on the behalf of black people. So, when I ask these people, what should they have done? And they go, peaceful, we tried that. Petition the government, we tried that. Elect people, we tried that. And we're still trying that. We're still trying all the movements that they would, all the things that they say we should try. In fact, that's the majority of the time we're doing those things. The majority of the time isn't going to be a riot. But they take the fringe instances where there are riots and they blow that shit out of proportion in order to justify not supporting Black Lives Matter.
Also, with Michael Brown and Ferguson, Missouri, you burning neighborhoods down, you're tearing things apart.
I have people who will say, well, the percentage of blacks that are being killed is...
Don't say don't! Muriel, stop! 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 Don't you dare say it.
High. And I said, where'd you get that from? Well, we see it on TV all the time.
Not high, disproportionate, disproportionate, disproportionate.
But the ones who are not shown on television is in a much higher bracket of being shot quicker than a black man would.
Oh, I think she's talking about that one study about how the cop hesitates for 0.03 or 0.3 seconds longer when shooting a black person than opposed to shooting a white person. As if that means anything. If black people are still getting shot by police at a disproportionate rate to the amount of crime that they represent or the amount of population that they make up, then it doesn't matter how long the cop hesitates, they're still shooting. Shocker. Would reducing crime defund the police budget? I think you'd have to do it the other way around. Defunding the police budget at least a little bit in certain areas would probably reduce crime, because if you don't have departments pouring billions into areas, you're not having people getting arrested for petty reasons. Now, actually, if it's like legitimate like crime that you need to catch, then okay. But if it's like something, you're gonna have a lot of less kids going to jail for like marijuana possession if you don't have as much millions flowing into certain police departments to fund their tactics. It did it again. Watch my webcam freeze now. If it does that again, I'm gonna shoot somebody. That was a joke in Minecraft. Yup, it froze again. Oh, well, we're back. Can't open the page. Why? Why does this happen when I pause? Where is it? 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 Where? There it is.
What? And
what? Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are we doing this? YouTube, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
people who will say, well, the percentage of blacks that are being killed is high. And I said, where'd you get that from? Well, we see it on TV all the time. But the ones who are not shown on television is in a much higher bracket of being shot quicker than a black man would. And that's shown with the FBI statistics.
Black Lives Matter as an organization is about peaceful protest and is about bringing awareness. There's no Black Lives Matter organizer who's ever looted a CVS. There's no Black Lives Matter organizer who has ever advocated for violence. So in terms of saying, look, I see somebody black on the TV who is upset about the murder of a young black male, that's not the same as saying Black Lives Matter is therefore responsible. Likewise, I'm not sure which FBI statistics, but African American men are definitely the most killed by police. It's a very specific statistic. Police aren't killing white folks like that.
We can't just leave it there and say, well, we're being killed more, therefore it's a problem with race. Why are we being killed more by the police? Is there a
Because
specific...
we're over-policed. There's more police in our communities.
What does that mean?
It means that the ratio, the number of police, at any given time where I live, I am going to see police officers every hour. I'm going to see patrol vehicles in a way that I don't see when I'm in predominantly white neighborhoods. Statistically, and this is actually my line of research, Black youth are seen as 4 to 5 years older. We're seen as scary, we're seen as intimidating. So that's why you see situations like Tamir Rice. You see police reacting quickly with lethal force
He had a gun. Looked like it was real though, you know.
He was, but there was no one there. Let's say he had a real gun. Why couldn't the police say stop? He was killed in less than 15 seconds, a 12-year-old boy.
But he was pointing the gun
with a
at
BB
people.
gun.
But
No, he was not.
Like when I had a BB gun when I was
At
8,
people? Who was he pointing the gun? Dog, he was by himself in the park. A neighbor called, said, there's a child with a gun. It might be fake though, so proceed with caution. They pulled up and shot him immediately. It is a little boy. You thought he was going to start busting at police? And if he starts busting at police, then maybe, just maybe, he would have had enough time to do so. Or maybe if he would have slowed down to read the situation, that would have been more of an possible outcome. Maybe. Even though it was a BB gun, and had you have taken the time to look, then you would have realized that. Instead, they pulled up and shot him immediately. He was pointing the gun at people. What the hell was you talking about?
Look real too. And you know, my parents told me, do not go outside with that. And I'm in the all-black area. Do not go outside with that and point it at people because it looked real. And why do you think they did that?
Hopefully because they...
Hey, I expect the police officers that get tax money to train and to actually police areas to have more of a handle on things and have less of a jumpy reaction than a neighbor with a pistol when this kid comes out and starts waving a damn BB gun. Maybe if you're walking down the street with a gun on you, ready to defend yourself, and you see somebody waving a gun that might not be real or something, okay, I still think that you shouldn't kill that person because you don't know what's going on. But in the heat of the moment, as a normal person, I can see how you make that decision. As a police officer who's supposed to be trained to deal with these situations, I don't see how you make that decision. And the cop who shot him was mentally unstable and shouldn't have even been on the force in the first place. Which is a problem with policing systemically. Why is someone who's mentally unstable in the police force? Why? Why is he on patrol? Why is he given a gun? I spit everywhere. Why? That is a systemic issue with policing. These idiots.
They recognize that as a black boy, you're going to be targeted.
We could do a whole podcast on that one right there. I mean, I wanted to go in.
Barack Obama did good things for Black Americans.
Not as much as he could have. He did some good things, obviously. The whole Obama phone thing. The Obamacare helped a lot of Black Americans. It helped, but kind of forcefully, even though it was a very right-wing plan where it's like you force people to buy it. It did increase coverage to a lot of people, but it also had its negatives. Overall, Obamacare was a step in the right direction. Yeah, Obama did do some good things, marginally good things, about as good as a standard corporate Democrat can get. But for who Obama was and what he ran on, he should have done way more for Black people. Way more. It's not even close.
Obama didn't do much for Black Americans or for Americans in general. But what he did do was one very important thing that I got to give him credit for. And that was to say that you can be Black and be the president of the United States. This whole excuse of, well, I can't do anything because I'm Black.
That's not what it...
In slavery, I'm not trying to hear it no more. You had the first Black president, the Black wife, the Black kids, all that good stuff for 2 terms. Now,
first of all, that does not mean not a jack diddly squat thing. If you mean to tell me for Black kids in in whatever situation they are, to have that representation of Barack Obama being the first black president and saying you can do it too. If you're talking about the message that he represented to those kids and those black Americans, that's cool. But for you to say that systemic issues that you seem to not be able to grasp, Anthony Brian Logan, are now thrown out the window because we had a black president for 2 terms, you're a damn idiot. That same black president that you're talking about lost the white vote, which is 73% of American population, once in 2008, and by a bigger margin to Mitt Romney in 2012. So if we really want to talk about racism and everything, and draw random conclusions, you can sit here and say, hey, all this racism, slavery stuff, we can stop talking about it now because Obama became president. And I could throw that back at you with an equally as stupid point as saying, well, the white people weren't the ones voting for Barack Obama, so therefore racism still exists. But I don't have to say that stupid shit, because I know that based on other data and how black people are still affected to this day, that Barack Obama's election isn't the end-all be-all and up. You can't talk about all this stuff anymore because no one's using it as an excuse, saying I can't do anything because I'm black, but now Obama happened, so we're good. Everyone's saying, yeah, it's very unlikely that Obama ended up in the position that he was because he was black. But he did it. That's good. He didn't really do much to help us. Now, move on. Let's see how black people are still affected today, and let's fix it. But you guys are too smooth-brained to have that nuance of a discussion, so it's just, well, you talked about systemic racism. You must think black people can't do anything because of racism. That's not what anyone has said. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Not once. It wasn't a fluke. 2 terms.
The Republican Party did do everything that they could to block Obama in the Senate. Do I think he would have did way more had they not have done that? Not really. I think he would have did marginally more things. But, yeah, they did. They did block him on a lot of things.
Obama has done more damage to the African American race than any of the other presidents.
Yeah, not like the good half of them that actually legitimately owned slaves. Not like, you know, Andrew Johnson, who actively worked to roll back things that Lincoln did and was more of a Southern sympathizer immediately after Lincoln's assassination. You know, not like Richard Nixon, who started the war on drugs and led into the war on crime and everything in the 80s and stuff. Not Ronald Reagan with the AIDS and everything else that he did. Not, you know, Donald John Trump, who sat there posturing about how I had the lowest black unemployment rate and everything when he didn't implement a singular policy to even do that. And his one thing, the First Step Act, he started rolling back, and his own Department of Justice started fighting to get people locked back up who were freed under the First Step Act, which was underfunded so that they couldn't even put black people into the halfway houses that they were meant to let them out of. Not the good about probably 27 to 30 presidents that fit in the descriptions that I just listed. Not any of those guys. Not the ones that literally governed during segregation and Jim Crow and didn't do not a damn thing about it. Not the ones who literally led and governed under slavery and didn't do not a damn thing about it. But Barack Obama, the one black guy. You see why they're self-hating.
He came into the presidency lying. He lied to our...
Who doesn't lie? And what do you mean? Because Donald Trump came into the presidency lying way more than Obama did. Please, and you're wearing his hat.
Faces to get elected.
So did Donald John Trump,
Then
but you're
once
blind.
He disavowed. He just forgot about the blacks.
Forgot about the blacks, yikes.
First of all of us. Obama...
Let me meet her, bro. Let me meet her. Let me meet her. Let me meet her. Let me meet her. Let me meet her.
didn't do anything but an abomination to us, to this whole nation.
Yo,
Laugh, because if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry.
I mean, I agree with what you said. You know, he did a lot of damage. And the main thing that I remember from his term was when he had Black Lives Matter in the White House while Ferguson was happening, while it was happening. Hey, you guys are doing a great job out there.
Whoa.
You guys are doing fantastic. Didn't say, hey, tone down the rhetoric a little bit maybe because you got some problems. Nope, you guys are doing a great job. Keep on going.
So Obama was a representation of something important, but also I think the whole thing is a big puppet show. And you know, I wasn't really sure.
Amen, brother.
I'm never really sure what's going on behind the scenes, so we don't know what kind of deals are being made.
I do think that there was people that benefited from some policies that Obama put in place.
Homosexuals.
And I also believe
Even he doesn't know what she's talking about. What is this woman's name? I didn't say beat her, I said meet. Don't try it.
that there were people.
Bro, he's trying so hard not to laugh. Oh, she's such an idiot. Oh my God, my head.
That did not benefit. And so I think that there are obviously good things about the Obama presidency, and there's things that I disagree with the Obama presidency.
We got to educate you, young brother.
Educate me?
Yes.
You?
Did you go to college?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
Southern University in Pepperdine.
What did you study?
Political science, law enforcement, social studies. Social studies is what I teach, and social science, masters.
It shows.
It shows. I love this dude.
Black community should accept LGBTQ plus rights.
Hell yeah. He's not conservative. You're lying to yourself. You're lying. Join the blue side, bruh. Come on, man. Come on, man. We got plenty of room over here. He must be like a fan of Reaganomics or something.
I am not only a philosophical conservative, but I'm also a religious conservative. And I believe that God made everyone in his image. And I also believe that we as Christians aren't people to judge. And so who are we, or who is anyone, to deny someone their rights as a person based off of what their sexual orientation is, or how they identify, or the lifestyle that they choose to live?
You know, I'm a part of the LGBT community. I'm transgender, so I was born female, now I present male and male. Yeah, it was an interesting road, even getting my family to understand, you know, who I was at times. So I think it was like they didn't want me, for lack of better terms.
And you gotta feel for him because he's literally sitting here explaining this to them as the two idiots stand in the background behind him like, yeah, black people shouldn't accept LGBT rights, as if black people aren't also LGBT. There are black LGBT people, believe it or not. You're talking to one. So what the hell are you sitting there for saying we shouldn't accept them? What do you mean? Buddy, it's not your choice. And if you want to sit back and be like, the black community that I'm somehow still a part of, even though I side with Republicans, shouldn't accept LGBTQ people, then you can get left in the trash bin of history because no one's going to follow your stupid ideology.
To have another cross to bear, which was what they felt like it was another burden or a condition that would make me less than. But really, intrinsically, like, we're all worthy.
Okay, human rights.
Now you have to sit there. He has to now sit there and watch this idiot explain to him why his existence is invalid. Go, Muriel.
This is one thing. Sexual rights is a whole nother thing.
And you already fucked it. You already fucked it in the first 3 words. You fucked it already. You fucked it. You fucked it. It's done. It's done. It's done. Have a nice night. Good night, everyone. Good night. We'll see you at a certain time. That is later on. Okay? Good night. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. What the hell am I watching at this point?
A cross to bear, which was what they felt like it was another burden or a condition that would make me less than. But really, intrinsically, like, we're all worthy.
Okay, human rights is one thing. Sexual rights is a whole nother thing. The majority of the black community are religious. When it goes against their beliefs, yeah, no, it shouldn't happen. And gluttony is part of the human race. People glutton too much. And the LGBTXYZ.
Ah! Let me meet her. Let me talk to her. Let me please talk to her. Or since you want to goof around about the LGBTQ+, okay, man, let me meet him then. Let me meet whatever you are, Muriel. Since you can't respect people's goddamn gender. It's... Oh, let me meet her. Let me talk to this being, if we could even call it that. Since we want to get disrespectful.
No, it shouldn't happen. And gluttony is part of the human race. People glutton too much. And the LGBTXYZ, whatever, they're gluttoned.
All right, now my viewpoint on the thing of
okay, yeah, laugh it off, because if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. Okay, what's the dude's name? Jesse Lee Peterson. Yes, that's his wife.
about LGBT rights, what are we talking about exactly? I want to be very specific with this particular thing, because when I hear that, I'm thinking about Dwayne Wade's son. He's 12 years old. Do you think a 12-year-old boy should be able to call himself transgender? Is that what we...
After meeting with a psychiatrist, going through the proper diagnosis with a confirmation from her parents, and going through that entire process, and them coming to the conclusion that the best thing to do is to decide how to accommodate her presenting socially and her being transgender. Yeah! I think I take the opinion of the parents, the patient, the specialist, the psychiatrist, everyone else, as opposed to Anthony Brian Logan's gut feeling that these 12-year-olds are just deciding that they're girls. What?
We're going to do we think that we should have 4 and 5-year-old children?
Now it's 4 and 5-year-old. You have no idea how the hell this process works. They think that what happens is a baby boy just walks into a store, sees a wig, puts it on, and goes, "I'm a girl now, treat me like that." That's not how anything works. People whose job it is in this medical field to determine early onset signs of transgenderism and everything like that will meet and work with the parents when they notice symptoms and everything, and come to the understanding that, okay, this kid might identify as something different than what we identified them as birth. And then we work from there for their entire lives to get them to a point where they can be happy and live a normal life. That's all that there is. There is no thing where a child is just saying, "I'm a girl," and then everyone goes by it. But this brainlet thinks that that's how that works. I can't. I'm about to skip this video and just start driving trucks now because I'm wasting my time.
Puberty blockers, hormone blockers.
You don't know how you do not know how puberty blockers I can't even speak. Oh my god, my head hurts. You do not know how any of these things work. My camera battery died. I love this. You gotta love it. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is great. I think one more stupid thing and we gonna skip to playing trucks. Oh my Lord. Oh, I got an eyelash stuck in my eye. Hold on. It always does this. It's the one thing I don't like about Streamlabs. It kind of tweaks with my camera. Oh, why is it doing that? Okay, and there we go. Double barrel, long barrel, short barrel, medium. I want to get rid of these little black bars, but I can't be bothered, so let's just continue.
They think at that age they're transgender. You can't even get a tattoo under the age of 18. You can't smoke cigarettes. You can't drink beer. If somebody wants to be gay, trans, whatever, as an adult, that's fine. My uncle, my favorite uncle, died of AIDS, was gay. That was my.
I can't be homophobic. I have a gay friend. I can't be racist. I have a black friend. I can't.
Dog, 100%. If you gay, that's your business. I don't care. That's you. That's not me. That's you. When we're talking about LGBT rights, what do we mean?
I mean, I think it's the right to exist. Dwayne Wade's daughter knows exactly who she is. And
12.
And she doesn't.
Right, and there's definitely research that says that, you know, anybody under 25 years old, that your brain is not fully formed.
Thing is, I knew when I was small, right? As soon as I could talk, I was pretty much telling my parents, like, these were the things that I was feeling and what I knew about myself. You know, when you start to self-actualize, you start that at that age. You start at the early ages. So if you look at like psychosomatics of children, they start to voice and self-actualize in toddler stages. We're just saying opening it up. If they're voicing themselves, okay, you're voicing yourself, and as a parent, I just give you a platform to flourish and bloom as you do. And then when you're an adult, if that's the decision the parent wants to make, you can do what you want, sure. That's the decision my parents said.
Did you kind of say what he said?
So you kind of like on the same page with me. Like
This is what my parents did. You do what you want when you're out of the house. But the thing is, if I had if my parents had the resources and the education that they do now, they would have probably allowed me to, they would have offered me a decision that would have helped me, you know, live my life.
But you can't say that because it didn't happen.
It didn't, but it can now. Because we have
There's a
those resources
possibility?
now. We have those resources now.
You think
there
they
would have
would?
been if they had the resources that they have now, definitely. All you gotta do
Don't
is
say
listen.
nothing,
Just
Muriel.
listen.
I have felt excluded.
I don't even want to hear this part. Long story short, Muriel is a goddamn brainlet. She needs to stay far away from any political discourse in her life. Anthony Brian Logan is always stupid. We know that. Let me try to focus this camera more. Yeah, Anthony Brian Logan has always been stupid. The guy in the hoodie on the Republican side is not actually conservative. I'm convinced. He's probably more of an Obama type. And, yeah, the other two on the left are pretty based. Now let's play trucks, because if I have to listen to Muriel talk one more goddamn time, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind. Let me get this camera situated, but first, let's exit here. And that's my Discord. I don't know what this anime thing is here because they be doing weird stuff in this Discord, but you know what? American truck. There we go. Uh-oh. Did I freeze? I think I froze. We get properties. Uh-oh, I apologize. Uh-oh. I think I'm lagging. Boys, I'm frozen. I don't think it's gonna let me switch. I don't think it's gonna do it. I can't click nothing. I think at this junction we might need to end the stream. I don't know what's going on. I think everything broke. If that's the case, then I think I'll talk to y'all later, I guess, cause nothing's letting me click on anything. So. Yeah, I guess this has been your boy, J. William J. I will see you guys in the next stream. This kind of awkward way to end it, but I don't know why everything's breaking. So, have an awesome day now wherever you are, and I guess peace. Actually, yeah, now that you say it, I'm probably gonna try to restart it. Hold on.